What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Fit Friends podcast, where we chill and talk about all things around health and wellness. And today we've got a special guest all the way from Cape Town. We'll be talking about why it's important for you to have a personal trainer, right? A lot of people are on a fitness and weight loss journey and are unclued as to what they need to do when it comes to exercise and training. So we'll be talking about why one needs a personal trainer. Stay tuned. Yo, Slice Man, what's up, brother? Welcome to the
Excellent,
podcast.
Touch. What's
Kama
up,
aje,
Touch?
Slice? I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Man, all is good. All is good, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us today so we can have this chat, bro. I know you've
Yeah,
got a
man. Thank
busy
you for having
schedule
me.
pushing. I know you've got a busy schedule pushing people to become their best selves out there in the gym. So yeah, thank you for coming through, dog. Today we wanted to chat a bit about personal training and yeah, how personal training is actually a key part of society and why you should get a personal trainer when you're on a journey, fitness, weight loss, health and wellness, right? But before we get into that, I want us to firstly introduce the audience to Lindelani. Who is Lindelani? Where is he from? And maybe he can touch a bit on his journey when it comes to uh, the history behind him becoming a personal trainer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Firstly, thank you for having me, Touch, and to all the viewers, thank you as well. Yeah, Lindelani. I'm from Joburg in the East Rand, Ikasi, Don Park. You know,
Yeah, man.
this fitness journey. Yo, Echo. When we think back to the tennis court, when I think back to the tennis court and I think back just running to deep CrossFit, Joe, it always touches me because this journey has been incredible, Joe. I think if I can just round it off in a nutshell, um, the whole movement that we started back in the hood really pushed me to becoming a personal trainer because at that time when I was training in the hood, I was really lost in my life, Joe. I was really lost. A lot was happening. I was coming from a lot of things personally, and just getting into the zone of fitness, Joe, was something really special. And this is where I am today, Joe.
Yeah, Machi. No, those were good times, man. I want you to go back
Yeah.
and yeah, I want you to unpack around like how that period in your life was super important in helping you transition into this person. Yeah, but I hear you saying, Guti, it was a bad time in your life. How important was training for you around those periods in your life?
Yo, Joe, going back to that time, I can honestly say, Guti, the transition that I was going through was, it was basically career-wise. Career-wise, I was in a space whereby I was coming from a sales job, which I was earning good money, and everything was going well. But for every high, there's a low, and after I hit a low on the sales job, it was literally time for me just to find my purpose and find myself. So if I can just recap, kancane, Mina, basically after matric, I wanted to play cricket. Ngifuna ukudlala cricket.
Sure.
Yabo. And so yes, abazali Joe were like, no, dude, go to school, get yourself an education, and you'll be successful. They sold me the dream of getting an education. And at that time, you're vulnerable, you've been locked up at home. They tell you you're gonna have freedom, just go out there and do yourself. Yabo. But at the same time,
Sure.
the pressure is on school. They're not really asking you what you want to do with yourself after scala. So, going through all of that, Joe, and kind of like going to school and then just disappointing my parents, but then being able to find myself by, making it in terms of being able to get a job and just being able to live life. I did what I could, but like I said, I hit a high and then I hit a low, and after I hit the low, Joe, it was really time for me to reassess, what's my purpose in life? Where am I going? Who am I? And I really had to search within. And I'm a very active person. Like, Eskela, PE, that's my favorite subject. Physical
Sure.
education,
Yeah.
yeah, like anything physical, nje. Like I'm a very practical person. I'm not theoretical, but I know how to apply myself. Yeah, well, it's just that Guti, when you need to apply yourself, sometimes you just don't excel theoretically. So I always excel practically, and that was the first thing I established about myself, Guti. I'm really good practically. So what is it that can I do to actually find my purpose? And I knew I love sports, cricket. I wasn't such a good soccer player, but I could play as long as I could just be physical and be active.
Sure.
So after all of that, I realized, if I really want to be physical, I need to start transforming myself. So once you get into a comfort zone in your mid-20s of working and earning your own money, like uyaziyekelela, you know that, right?
Sure.
Uyaziyekelela, you drink excessively, you party, there's just too much debauchery happening in life. And, you know, I neglected that part of me. And once I hit a low, I had realized, damn, is this the way I've turned out? And I realized, okay, cool. Let me start exercising again. And
Yeah.
that was it. When I started exercising, I remember you guys were always pushing a movement, lapaya in my court.
Sure.
And uh, you know what? I was like, okay, cool. I'm keen for this because I wasn't doing anything at that time. I just lost my job, so I wasn't doing anything. And then, yeah, it started off there, waking up in the morning, coming to train, and just getting it, Joe. I still remember myself in those black tights.
Yeah.
I used
Back
to,
in the
I didn't
day.
care about anything, Joe. I used to wear tights to the gym,
Sure.
Joe. Those short tights, and I wouldn't care, Joe. I wouldn't care. And I know you
Yeah.
guys used to laugh at me so much, but I wouldn't care, Joe. I
Bozela
wouldn't
into
care, Joe.
Bowizele.
Mengizele into engiyizele, Joe. Like
Sure.
my mind was in the right place because at that time I already knew what the purpose is. You see, I think once you start to find a purpose, it all falls into place. But you have to absolutely trust the process. It's pointless finding purpose, but you're not going to trust the process. Like instant gratification didn't work, and that's the thing about me. I never had that instant gratification thing in my head. It was just all
Sure.
about, let me work out, let me be consistent, let me just better myself physically because your body is the stone you sharpen your mind on.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Yeah,
No, most people will look at you now and not realize w- that you actually had to take a complete 360 to get to where you're at right now. Yeah, and
yeah, yeah,
it's a process, this thing, a very demanding process, because i know I know you desire even an even higher level than the one you're on now, so it's still ongoing. And this is what I've seen in
yes,
exercise, ukuthi ikuyenza ukuthi ube ngathini, ikuyenza ukuthi ube goal driven, goal orientated, because when you work on your physical goals and you start to achieve them, it sort of translates in other areas of your life, working on your personal goals. Financial liberation, we've always spoken about financial liberation. In fact, in our movement, when we were still
yeah,
training like us, it was always about that we need to attain financial liberation. And it's so cool to see how Martin, we've gone in our own way to create our own paths within our respective areas. Wawan?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, to see ourselves where we are right now is pretty cool. So no, I commend you, Slice Man. I was there witnessing you going through the transitions, taking a bold move to go to Cape Town. to go and start, afresh after having completed your personal training studies. So I want to talk a bit about that. The move to Cape Town. How has Cape Town been to you? And how long have you been in Cape Town? Tell the audience how long you've been down in Cape Town. Uh, yeah, tell the story of Cape Town because the story of Cape Town is quite interesting, man.
Yeah, Joe. Just before I touch on that, I just want to go back a little bit, né?
Sure, Splash.
So when I started training with you guys and we were pushing the whole movement, né?
Yeah,
We started sharing the responsibilities amongst each other. In the movement that we were pushing it deep cross, we started sharing the responsibilities, and those responsibilities was just to train people because the numbers were coming in. I remember the aerobics on Saturdays was just one of the things that we all used to enjoy, right?
yeah,
And from there onwards, I mean, when we started getting the numbers, we obviously started sharing the workload amongst each other. So that's when the passion really started to fuel. Yeah, well, because now there's people around, you always want to be at your best, right? And here's the thing
sure.
for me, being at my best didn't mean beating the next person. There was a touch. I remember when we ran the warrior race, nah,
Yeah,
me, you, and
Chavi.
Strava. Like when I go back to those moments, nah, I really figured out Gucci, there's two ways of winning. Nah. There's one way when you say, yes, I beat that person. Nah. And the other feeling is when you win inside, when you know, Gucci, damn, I actually did this. Nah.
Yeah,
That feeling, Joe, it is so fulfilling, Joe. It is so fulfilling. Each and every one of us has a competitive edge, right?
yeah,
Whether be it you beat the next person or be it winning inside. But for me, winning inside was everything because now it's I was competing against myself and no one else.
yes,
And
Splash.
those are the moments, those are the things I took every time our movement started growing in the hood. Those are the things that actually made me realize, damn, I can actually do this. I'm passionate about this. You know what,
Yeah,
right? I wasn't necessarily good at it when I started off, right? But I allowed myself, I gave myself the time, and most importantly, the patience. I was patient, right? So when the patience develops, then the vision starts to get bigger because you realize you're not working towards a short-term goal. So when the vision gets bigger, like there's little steps that you take, and once you start to take those steps properly, you are more brave. Yeah, well, so
sure.
once your vision gets very big in anything that you're doing, you become very brave. You are literally not afraid to do anything. And Cape Town was just one of those things. Yeah, well, because
Sure.
after completing my studies, I realized, Uguti, you know what? Because I used to cycle just before I left Cape Town. I used to cycle a lot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, around about 2014, 2015, I came here to Cape Town to watch the cricket. I'm a big cricket fan, like I said. I came to watch South Africa play England, and when I saw this place, I realized, damn, this is exactly the way I want to live. Because Tina from Joburg, Joe, there's no cycle lanes. You don't have a promenade where you can run on.
Sure.
Just those little things. Just those little things. And God forbid, like when I was riding my bike, still working for Virgin as a fitness instructor, waking up at what at 3:30. My shift used to start at 4:30, and cycling from Dawn Park to East Rand Mall. That's about what 21 Ks. And I just
Yeah.
remember those moments, waking up in the morning and cycling, Joe. And I never felt safe because, Joe, there's these guys that you catch that are coming from the clubs in the morning, Joe, and they're
Sure,
just
Splash. Man.
reckless.
Yeah.
Those are just the things that I considered Niti Esan, but they never really brought me down. I just carried on. And So eventually, when I did decide to come to Cape Town, it was a very, very big move because I literally had nothing when I came here. I had absolutely fuck all. I literally had 1 month's rent and probably 1,000 rand for food, right? And I was working for Virgin Active, the one in K90, the one in East Rand Mall, and
Sure.
I called them. I called Cape Town. I called Cape Town. Oh no, wait. So before calling them, um, I came here to Cape Town through my ex again. So that's how I got to Cape Town again.
Sure,
So
slice
as
man.
you might know, I was on a reality show and I came a runner up with Lana, and she's from Cape Town originally.
Yeah.
So when me and her linked up, she invited me to come over to the West Coast because that's where she's from. And when I came this side, I realized, damn, there's so many gyms in Cape Town. It was so crazy. Within a radius of 5 kilometers, there's like four or
Uh-huh.
five gyms,
Uh-huh.
right?
As a virgin.
So imagine, yeah. So imagine yourself being at Don Park. There's a gym at Villa Lisa. There's a gym in Windmill Park. There's a gym in Klipwoki. There's a gym in Sunwood Park.
Yeah.
You
Demand.
know, the demand is so crazy. When you look around, everybody's active. Everybody's on a bike. Everybody's running. People are walking. And the environment, young upper, is very conducive for outdoor activities, I must say.
Sure.
So when I saw all of that, I had to make a decision to say, okay, cool. Which club would I like to move to? And I'm currently in Tableview, right? So
Uh-huh.
when I saw this club, I made sure I made myself known. And when I made myself known, I started to when I was in Joburg, when I came back to Joburg, I spoke to them here, and I'm like, I'm from Cape Town. I'm from Joburg. I'm looking for a position here. And they said to me, we currently have nothing available, but you can keep trying. You know?
Uh-huh.
So then, ngokufoster, foster because I was in a very, very good space. I was in a very, very good space. So in Joburg, I came here just with the 1 month's rent, like 1,000 rand for food. I came here and I told them, listen, guys, I want to work here. This is what I do, and I'm gonna do it pro bono if I have to prove myself. And you know what? The universe will always align you to your thoughts, Joe. It's so true. The law of attraction is so true. Nah?
Yeah.
And they were a man down at this club, and them being a man down, and I was offering myself, they weren't going to stop me. So because of my experience of being able to train people, and obviously I'm coming from Virgin as well, so I knew what to
Yeah.
do. And yeah, Joe, I did that for 3 months, and after I literally, Joe, I worked here for a month without getting paid. Then on the second month, they were like, we'll consider you, but it's nothing guaranteed. But because I was
Yeah.
pulling the numbers and I was doing everything quite well, they decided to offer me something, more lucrative, as an employee for Virgin, like I was in K90. And yeah, I mean, after the second month, then yeah, they offered me something, and then that's where it started. I came here to Cape Town with my PT qualification, but in Joburg, I wasn't doing it full time as yet. Ne?
Uh-huh.
So when I came here, I absolutely knew no one, right? And in the PT business, from my experience in Joburg, it's very, very, very hard to start your business if nobody knows you. You have to build relationships. You can be the
Sure.
best personal trainer in the world, but if you don't build relationships with people, it's very, very difficult for them to trust you and for them to open themselves up to. Because in personal training, like the word says, it's very, very, very personal. Yabo?
Uh-huh.
So umuntu makafika kuwavela kuthembe at one time, they must have known something or heard something of you before they can actually say, okay, cool, I want to do this with you. Yabo?
Sure, slice man.
So after that, Joe, working here as a fitness instructor for my plan was to work here as a fitness instructor for 6 months just to build up clients. And by the fourth or fifth month, I started telling the manager, Guti, listen, I want to start moving into PT because I'd already built the relationships that I see in Guti. These are the people I can take when I start my business. And I had quite a few people that were like, yeah, if you start off as a personal trainer, we'll take you on, we'll hire you because we can literally see you're good at what you do. And
Sure.
yeah, Joe, from there onwards, I haven't looked back, Touch. I haven't.
That's cool, man. That's dope. So for those who are watching, because there are some people watching live, they mustn't question you when it's time to access the service, right? From you because you've put in the work to get to where you're at, right? Because it's what I've come to see in our space a lot of the time. When we push our price forward, this is what I charge to train you. People will question you. And even though I know for a fact, because you and I have spoken about what our respective rates are, I know for
Mm,
a fact that we are much cheaper than what other people usually charge for personal training. You know what I'm saying? We
mm,
are we see considerate, Tina, for market yet. Very considerate. Young so someone should not question the amount of time that's been invested in getting to the level that you're on right now. You get what I mean? So I can completely
mm-hmm.
relate with what you are saying right now. So, and I want to unpack in Dabaye because a lot of the time, right, you and I are different in that I train people online. You do physical one-on-one sessions, right? And
Yeah,
yeah, although the problem we're solving is the same, we are looking at it from slightly different angles now. But
yeah.
in selecting a trainer as umuntu or ofuna achieve a particular goal, what advice would you give someone when selecting a trainer, be it an online trainer or a physical trainer, one-on-one personal training sessions? What advice would you give someone?
Oh, okay, cool. So basically, like I said, you personal training is something very personal. So first of all, commitment is something that you have to have yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at you because when you come into a Virgin Active, then when you get into the entrance, most likely there's a wall of personal trainers, right? There's different ones, and we all have different things. We all provide different need. We all do different stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you select a personal trainer, it's more or less you have to know Guti, what is your goal and how far are you willing to work, and have you observed that person? Have you seen them on the floor? Have you seen them work out? Uh, have you been following what they're doing, right? Because then it'll give you an indication of which, okay, this person's work rate is like this or it's like that. Yeah, well, so you
Sure.
must understand the level of commitment you want to come into, because sometimes umuntu jumps into personal training thinking ukuthi I'll have it my way. Can't you meet a totally different trainer? Like I've got a really really high work ethic. Like work ethic is really really high. I'm driven by results and accountability. Yeah, well, I'm
Sure, Slash man.
I'm straight to I'm straight to the point about what I want and what I need. So my advice to anyone who's looking for a personal trainer, whether be it online or one-on-one, right? Look for someone you know that accountability is the first thing that you're gonna look at, whether it's from you or the other person. Because at the end of the day, uh, the value that I will provide as a PT will determine the commitment that you give me, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'll give you more value if I see Gucci. The commitment, the level of commitment that you're giving me is going to take you really, really, really far. Those are the things that for me I would advise anyone to look at. Look at what value you're gonna get and really know yourself. Know Gucci, will you be accountable for whatever this person tells you? That's the most important thing because online is a totally different game in the sense, Guti, online you need to have self-discipline. And it's much more nicer when it's a community. So when it's a community, we always used to say, let's share the pain. And it's
Sure.
so
Sure.
online having an online community is really, really important. I mean, the trends that I've noticed this side is Guti, people are really online are really the top guys, are really the top athletes, right? Mostly the people that invest in online training are the ones who know what they're doing. They're just getting advice from other people. And the people that are also online here are the people who don't have time to come into a gym, but are also very, 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 very self-disciplined. Yeah, well, they are
Sure.
very, very, very self-disciplined. So when you're looking for a PT, whether online or one-on-one, know exactly what value you want to get out of it, and know exactly the level of commitment you want to put into it.
Sure, Slice Man. No, I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. I couldn't agree more with what you are putting on the table right now, because as a trainer, I see this often. People will lack accountability sometimes, in that I can only, as a trainer, I can take you to the river to drink the water, but I can't force you to drink it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I can give you all the tools that you need. But if when yourself mentally awakazitsheli ukuthi ngiyayifuna le nto le and this is what I'm going for, then it defeats the purpose, because yeah, you're not really gonna be getting it mentally. So I've seen this trend, yabo. Umuntu uzoza ajime, and then maybe first 2 3 sessions makaqeda uku-experience some serious, discomfort, because training begins with a certain level of discomfort. And then seka pull up back mhlambe, mentally they weren't ready for what was going to happen mentally. And that's a problem,
Yeah.
because a lot of people liyababambezela le nto leyo. You have to have like that fight in you mawuqala uthi ufuna ukujima or ufuna lose weight, or you know what I'm saying. So I like that you say that selecting a trainer, you must make sure uzoselecta umuntu ozokunceda ukuthi ube accountable, but also stressing that they too themselves must have a certain level of accountability. Ingabi just the trainer
Of
omele
course.
ngikupushe. Uyayibona? Yeah, because I've seen
Yeah.
this trend. I've seen this trend that people, and as the trainer, when I won't push in, all the excuses, instead of looking at yourself, right? And saying, okay, what is the role that I am playing? No, for real, I've experienced this, Maji, where I had to have a chat with someone to tell them basically what's happening. Because since I train people online, accountability for us is slightly different, right? And we do live streams, like you're saying. People like to train in groups, so we are bridging that gap by doing live streams. We group train, and it fosters that element of togetherness in the group, young Tola, where people can train together and they can follow my instructions and cues in real time, but virtually, right? So sometimes we have implemented those measures specifically to help you stay accountable. Just like you, set this card, client yakho uzoyibuza, okay, what are the best times for you to train? Here are my slots. These are the slots that are available, And once they pick a slot, you want them to be accountable to you and tell you, it's okay, ngizofika ngale langa leli, abanye banokufika late, abanye all these things that just make the game so difficult for us. But you're paying for this service on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so umuntu kwamele naye azinikele internally ukuthi no, I'm paying for this service, so I must get the value for my money, and not step back and commit. Yeah, commit to the game, and then you will see results. Because for me, it's very fulfilling to ukubona umuntu omjimisayo ariche igoli yakhe. Uyangithola? And it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time. Thola ukuthi umuntu mhlambe you've been training them for 6 months and you see the difference in who they are. It's very fulfilling, For me personally, I find it to be very fulfilling. That side of the game, yeah. And
Yeah.
I want to know from you, what do you think about the importance of being online, even though you're a physical trainer, right? But share your journey online, sharing the things online, like sharing the community, because we're big on that. We share content in community. We share what the people are sharing with us, because I found that a lot of people online are inspired by that. Do you find that you attract clients like that? Mawushare ama-clients wakho baboni progress yabo over time with yo lento le yaspana. Slice, can I access some of your services, bro?
Yeah, Joe. You know what, right? Being online has a good advantage because being online, there's a timeline of where you started, right? And
Sure.
that's the advantage of being online because i-advantage is ukuthi i-timeline yakho, you can literally see it. Unlike when you're with me one-on-one, all I do is I measure you, and you know, a timeline, it's between me and you. But now the timeline you're online, it's present for everyone to see. And so now it only not only inspires you, but it inspires other people. So the more other people are inspired, the more you get motivated as the person who's on that journey, right?
Sure, Slice.
And the more you get motivated, it's the more you want to push. And the online space is big on that, on the timeline of when the goal is reached. Because, Touch, let me tell you something about one-on-one.
Yeah.
Sometimes I am more of a therapist than a personal trainer. Because you find that sometimes, Mina, I'm training someone who's a top CEO, who's a doctor, or whatever title they have.
Sure,
And
Slice, man.
sometimes when they come through, it's they just say to you, listen, I want to do this, I want to do that. And yes, I'm the coach, but at the same time, I'll also give them the space to tell me what it is they want to do, because now this is where personal training is more personal. Okay, now I can now listen to this person while they talk more. Well, online, you don't have that. You don't have that. You don't have that person. Also, today I don't want to work hard. I just want to talk. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. Yeah, well, like
Sure, Slice.
sometimes I'm a therapist more than a personal trainer, because if you see me every day, you are going to open up to me. We are going to talk about things. And I start to get to know you better. Like sometimes me, I know my clients when they walk through the door. And when they walk through the door and I can see it's okay, cool. This person, this person, this person is not going to is not in the right mindset to train, right? And them not being in the right mindset to train. Now I automatically click, okay, cool. This is what's gonna happen. Let them open up first before I can initiate anything. So that's the advantage of a personal training is good. There are times whereby you can chat to me and I'll be like, okay, cool. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Or you just look at what's happening around us, and then we discuss all of that, right? So discussing all of that makes a very, 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 very big difference personally. Whereas online, none of that exists. None of that exists. You are accountable for yourself, for your own goals and achieving. All we do as a coach online is we're gonna say to you, how far are you? Where are you going? What is it that you're struggling with? What is it that we can help you with?
Yeah.
That space for me is different. Those are the big differences for me in those two spaces.
Yeah, no, I feel you on the therapy on being a therapist in essence as a trainer, because sometimes abantu bananoku yeah, unanokeep indaba zakhe as close to their heart, and and really unpack to them. And really the training session is an outlet for them. It's not necessarily just about, okay, I'm here for my weight loss goal. No. You're here to de-stress. You're here to de-stress. So no, I feel you on that, and I've seen exercise is a very big big component when it comes to distress. I'm actually planning an episode with an occupational therapist who's going to come on and talk about the link between mental health and exercise. So yeah, kubalulekile le kakhulu ube ne flexibility, and I think it's available even online, this psychology, if ngibeka kanjalo, because sometimes okay, the community aspect, the ladies have fostered a relationship. This is what I've noticed. So if you let the community do what it does, the ladies connect, they engage. Umuntu nanokuyibeka indaba yakhe ukuthi, yo, I just experienced some sort of grief, or APC, and the community is basically. So I feel you when you say that sometimes we need people to. It's not just about exercise. This is where I'm going with this. But training is not just about weight loss goals and what your body is going to look like. No, sometimes it's about the therapy that it comes with. To distress, because
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah, no, training, nami nanogu, I'll have like a lot on my mind. Maybe I'm dealing with a lot. You know the process of building. It takes time, and you have things that you go through mentally and emotional. And then after an exercise, you feel better. You know, you feel
de-
calmer. Like, yeah, it brings perspective for you. And tell me,
definitely.
as a trainer, do you find that kubalulekile ukuthi ube ne-emotional intelligence as a trainer?
100% touch.
Yeah,
100%. Emotional intelligence is so important in the fitness game, Joe, because you know what, right? People can manipulate you with their feelings, and now if you are easily manipulated by their emotions, yo, Joe, you're not going to have a backbone. As a coach, first and foremost, you must have a backbone. That
sure,
is very, 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 very important. Having a backbone will give you stability, and now even your client or the community will know. You know, there are things that I can go with an issue to this person, but I won't chance. Like it's people want like to take chances. Touch, man.
injalo,
People are
injalo.
people are chances. So umuntu once wakutesta kayi-1 kayi-2 kayi-3, it's easy ukuthi akutshele ukuthi wenzeni. Like, you know, tina as personal trainers, uh, you find Guti when we're having a discussion. Funny enough, I was having a discussion with this other personal trainer that who's my colleague. We work together.
Sure.
Like, extra, I've got this client. This client sometimes comes in here, tells me what we should do for the workout. Yeah, well, and I'm like, what's your take on that? And he's like, you know what, dude? First and foremost, she's one of my best paying clients. Yeah, well, and it being about her being one of my best paying clients, I sometimes fall for that trap. Yeah, well, and
uh,
and this guy here in the gym, like he's massive, Joe. He's a bodybuilder. He's massive. But for me to hear that from him made me kind of realize, oh, okay, cool. You know, we somehow get manipulated. You might look one way, you might look one way when we look at you physically, but now you sometimes get manipulated by clients. So emotional intelligence is very important because you're not dealing with one person. And here's the thing, man, me seeing people one on one, these people draw so much energy from me, so much energy. So once all my good energy is gone, the only thing I'm left with is now is my emotional intelligence. Which, okay, now how much can I tolerate? Yeah, but because
sure.
sometimes when a client is having a bad day, they come in here, they dragging their feet. Nami, I keep a straight face. I keep a straight face, right? Especially if you're not going to open up to me and tell me what's bothering you or what's eating you. I will definitely keep a straight face because Nami Manjane, I feel like you want to use your situation against me. And I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
hey, hi, dog.
Siwashaya la
I'll
mabhithi.
give you I was watching that dog. I'll give you an instruction, then I walk away. I'll give you an instruction, and then I walk away. And then I come back, and then I ask you guys, what's the deal? It's okay, cool. Let's move on to the next thing. Guys, that's when I'm saying I want to okay. They're not in the right space. They're not in the right thinking mind. So Nami, let me be able to have a backbone and be straight about, because once you walk through the gym, Joe, once you walk through the door, you're here to train. You're here for a specific reason, and we need to get it done. That's the most important thing. Once we get it done, then nami khane ngiyahleka nyana ngithi, oh, okay, so udliwa yini. So I'll always break the ice. I will always break
Uh,
the ice at the end. Yeah, well,
sure.
that's where my emotional intelligence comes in, because at the end of the day, you're a client and I care about you, right? I care about you. there's this lady I shared on my Instagram, Uvuyo. Now, me and Vuyo have come such a long way, Joe. Yes, she's done incredibly well for her. Me and Vuyo have a love-hate relationship, right? And the love-hate relationship is that I'll give her an instruction and then she'll pull her face, right? And I'll keep a straight face, right? And when I keep a straight face, she'll do it. But deep down inside, she's fucking swearing at me. Like, I'm sorry to use foul language, but she's young too, right? Like, there's someone who makakubheka uyabona with this person young too. I've learned not to take it personally. I've learned not to, because I care about you as a client.
Yeah.
And at the end, I'll find a way to break the ice and make you laugh.
Yeah.
That emotional intelligence touch is, you need to be big on it in our fitness space, Joe, because people will walk all over you. You need to have a backbone. You need to have structure. You need to be straight about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And as a coach, now you are allowed. Here's the thing about me is that I also train with my clients. So sometimes people, so I'm not the kind of guy to say do as I say and don't do as I do. So I like to walk the walk and talk the talk. So I'm still a coach ezoti cala mina gcina mina. No, I have guys that I train with that sometimes tell me, yo, Slice, let's do this, let's do that. But oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that actually works. So isn't help me understand abantu as well, to say, oh, okay, now I can take advice. Now I can be told what to do. Trust you me. Sometimes myself, I feel like, damn, I also need a personal trainer. It's very funny, because I feel like I also need a push. But just to go back to emotional intelligence, Joe, like, mele was with you, people must know what you're expecting from them. Because if you're not clear about that, then it's going to be very tricky in the future.
This is true. Setting the boundaries, between you and the clients or the people that you are training. It's very important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I'm feeling that. I want us to take a tangent a bit. In what I think is such an important topic, because we are in an age where more of abantu bethu are starting a fitness or weight loss journey, or like looking towards being healthy. Tina siyibonile vele kasi, tina sikhule vele. We're in fact part of the change mechanism. If you can think about 5 to 6 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, people went really into training. There wasn't much training movements, none. Then if we go, say, 5 to 6 years ago, when we're doing deep cross heavy, people really took an interest in exercise and training, and every year it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Manja, when as a PT, do you feel that we are in a prime position to handle it demand, training and exercise? And do you feel that as a PT, it's now is the time to open your own studio, start your own studio, or build your own online training program? However you decide to run the world, is your vision that? Do you see that now I need to actually have more control of my business and build a business because I assume you train mostly Black people. I'm assuming.
It's mixed. It's mixed. Okay. So just to go back to what you were saying, Tina kasi dog, bebasibiza labafana bamatayera.
Yes. Yeah.
But bamatayera. But yeah, Tina, besides, if you want to lose weight or you just want to be strong and just be physical and be active, yeah, la pimatayereni, those so many times I've bumped into people. Batshala deep CrossFit, but Nina, you guys are on another level. So that put us
Yeah.
out there. That really, really, really put us out there because 14 now, for we enjoyed it and it was a nice mental thing. I found it to be a very nice. It's hard, dog. Like to wake up and to go put yourself through that brutality is it's beyond words, Joe. It's beyond
Yeah, man.
words. Yeah, well, and when you look at it, and I look at now, and going back to your question, is Witty, the fitness space is forever evolving. Like there's always different avenues, and I like the approach that you took in terms of going online because I remember when we started the whole movement, we were just shooting content. When we started in January 2019, 2019,
Yeah.
we were shooting videos at the courts just to build up
The
content.
online presence. Yeah.
Yes, for the gym, just so we could attract the numbers. But that then made you realize that no, man, there's a gap somewhere else. No matter where you start in the fitness space, you'll always, if your head is in the right space, you'll always find a gap for you to elevate yourself to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Personally, my next biggest thing is to go into conditioning. Yeah, well, sports conditioning because I'm very good with group exercise and I love group exercise.
Uh-huh.
So that's the next avenue. If I were to open my own studio, it would be just to specialize in personal training, right? But in
Yeah.
the next coming years, I see myself conditioning, sports conditioning, because we are kind of touch. We much like you. I don't like the whole let's lift weights, you know,
Nah.
that whole jail gym thing. It doesn't condition your body. It does, but it doesn't condition your mind in a certain way long term as well. But everyone is different. I'm not gonna speak for everyone. I'm just gonna speak for myself as well. But in that space, me, I see myself going into more conditioning. And for anyone that is within the fitness space, whether you're doing yoga, Pilates, power pump, step, there is so much. You don't have to limit yourself to one thing. And here's the thing about also being in a space like Virgin Active is that they open up their courses for you to do. Like you can learn how to be a ride instructor. You can learn how to be a kick instructor. You can learn how to be a Zumba instructor. There is
Uh,
so many things. You could be an ordinary member who likes to come to a Zumba class, and all of a sudden you could feel like
you're the
actually I could
instructor.
do this. Yes, you could actually go do a course and be an instructor. That's where it builds, Joe. The fitness game will never limit you to anything. It's based on where you see yourself. And if you really work towards your strengths, where do your strengths take you? And it's not only about that, but what opportunities are you also looking at? If you look at the opportunities, then it'll make sense to you. Oh, okay, I can go into this, I can go into that. There is no limit to what you can do in fitness. I mean, if I can lift weights, then I can go do functional training. Then I can go do CrossFit. I can still do a Zumba class. I can still do a step class. I'm versatile. You can be versatile in a lot of things. You're not limited to one thing.
Injalo slice. It diverse like gameless guyo. It's extremely, extremely diverse. And that's what most people don't understand about the industry, right? A lot of people look at the industry and underestimate the actual potential yala slice. Like the potential is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people
Mm,
abayibheki le industry yangithola. But if uni passion
mm,
vele. Yeah, if uni passion cool food. But this industry has massive, massive, massive potential. And I mean, imagine what I've come to see in my time training. I mostly train black people. I'd say my audience is 99% black women.
mm,
Now there's a demand for an approach that helps people to navigate the beginner phase into becoming more consistent and becoming an intermediate and advanced trainer. Because in knowledge gap
mm,
inkulu abazi ukuthi baqalephi ngihleni kanjani. Uyabona, like yeah, like the gap is huge. How do I train? How do I exercise? And then on top of that, sometimes it's not easy for everyone to access personal one-on-one training because of the price point. Have you ever dealt with that? Umuntu afuna ukujima nawe but akakwazi uku-access that because like i-price point yakho mhlambe iyamhlula. Like what are have you ever dealt with that? Do you deal with that a lot? People not being able to access you because of the price point?
I have, right? I have, right? But for me, it's far more different, right? It's different in the sense, Gucci. So because I'm based in the gym and I'm a tenant and I pay rent here, and then so you people already have an idea. Okay, cool. This is what I'm going to have to pay, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to. This is what I'm expected to pay because. And then I'm at the same time, I'm running a business inside here. So being inside the gym, like I do get people who say to me, okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love to see you, but the price young shy. The only thing for me is what mutual solution can we find together? There has to be a mutual solution because sometimes the person that you turn down could be the person that looks after you in the future. So I kind of went through the same phase with one of my clients, whereby she lost her job and she couldn't afford to pay for my service anymore. All right. And the progress she had made me realize, you know what, I cannot give up on her because she's not paying me.
Sure.
You know, the monetary value of what I do for me is a priority. But the first thing is what value am I giving a person? Because building relationships with people is what makes you grow in this business. And I promise you, that same lady who lost her job, like maybe 8 months later, she bounced back and she referred 3 more clients. Those clients have been with me up until now. Up until now. And those 3 clients referred more clients. So sometimes umuntu unokufika ku athi yo anginamali jo ne. When as a trainer, my strategy is always to ask them, what's your plan? What are you willing to achieve? And what accountability am I giving? Because but then waste your time. Okay, cool. If that happens, it happens. Me, I won't take it personally. I'll just be like, okay, cool. You were just playing me for a fool. Fine. It happens. I'm gonna take that. And when it happens like that, I'm like, okay, cool. Lesson learned. But there are those real genuine people that want to access you, but they don't have that, abanayo amandla. But if you give them the first 2 steps, 3 steps, uphakama bazophakama jo. And once baphakama, they're gonna bring you with them.
Sure, Slice man. Sure. I'm asking you this question because I really think this is where online and offline can connect. You see this very point here. Young Toiler Slice, because yes, there still needs to. The reason I'm live streaming is because it creates that interpersonal thing. You get what I mean? Although virtual, but it creates the interpersonal thing. Yes. So this is where I'm going with this. I feel that there is a huge gap because there are a lot of people with gym memberships and all they can afford is just a gym membership. If you were to say to them, add a personal trainer, it's a bit too much. They can't really afford a personal trainer, but they can buy a training program.
Yeah.
They can buy a training program. So this is where I'm saying there's a gap here. There's a gap that we could potentially close because training program is about the way the training is delivered. It's slightly different. It's like usually abantu will buy PDF training programs, but I don't like that because I guide you on technique, but video content, and I'm sure you see this a lot. People in the gym on their phone, either shooting or watching videos for them to do their own workouts. So I really think this is a discussion you and I must have. Guti, how do we bridge the gap using technology? Because we have a program, right? You are on the ground with these people, training them, but you are now in a position where you can't win all of them because not all of them are quite ready to pay you. But you could funnel them into another side and then still give them that maybe a once-off session once a week where you talk to them, bayakutshela ukuthi, oh, this is what's happening, night training, this is where I'm at, because they still enjoy that aspect, right? Because we've just brought in a community manager now, Uzodwa. And her role is really to address community issues, because I am trying to foster a stronger culture of people being aware of exactly what's happening in the community, people being aware
Yeah,
of exactly where we are going, right? And then people having someone as a point of reference to address their pressing questions. So I
sure.
really think, yeah, I think that there's a gap right there, Slice Man. Because if you think about it, lawyer muntu lawyer maungathi kuyo, okay, now a training program which is pre-packaged. You don't actually need to be in person with them all the time. You can have days where, okay, ngale langa leli, once a week we sit down and we talk and we discuss training yakho the other week, for example, right? Bona, they have their approach in how they need to be accountable to you. They've got their membership. It all happens online, really. Not as much contact time as you currently have with some of your clients. I think a lot of gyms need that hybrid model. Personally, I think any COVID, yeah, I press alentole because I don't know how COVID was for you. When it was now an issue where the gyms are closed, how did you deal with that situation? Ingawongisho ukuthi hybrid ibalulekile. Like running a hybrid model is so important. Yabo. And then now
Yes.
you, it doesn't need to be a model that you build yourself. That's what I've come to realize with the collaboration. Ibalulekile, yabo. Like now we're gonna drop our meal plans, guys. I want meal plans that will be available for people to purchase online, and also if they want to, they can purchase the meal plan with the training program. So for example, you and I could collaborate on that. I could say to you, I could give you an affiliate link for you to sell these meal plans. I've collaborated with a dietitian to package these meal plans. These meal plans are from a black perspective. So we collaborate.
Yes.
Value add in thing is sure. I think the industry we lack collaboration on this level. Young Tola, where we think that the two things are separate. No, they're the same. Young Tola slice. Your
Yeah.
people also want to after they train with you later, they still want to engage in content as about educating a diet. Because I know for a fact you're always taking diet-based questions. As a trainer, it's a must. Young Tola. But unfortunately, we are not masters of nutrition. Nah, but I'm sure you
Yeah.
you deal. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying to you, Guti. There is a way to bridge the gap between physical personal training and online stuff, because some of the resources, Yafana, the, both clients need them. If I can put it like that, you get what I mean? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's something we must think about, something we must talk about. If you're open to that, I really think it's something that because I've seen a lot of the time I've got people that I'm training who have gym memberships, right? People who are using our program, like Ulebu, she goes to the gym, she follows our training, right? Even if she live streams, she will go to the gym to live stream our workout, pull her equipment
Mm.
from there. Yeah, you get what I mean? So in Tegi Show, it's like being, because there is personal trainer software. Have you ever tried software for running your business, running your clients, keeping track of the client data? Angazi ukuthi wena uyishiya kanjani, but have you tried software?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you must check it out. There's like personal training software basically. Konje yini, my PT or something like that. There's quite a lot of software. So the software le manage and invoicing, client profile. Yang Tso. And
Yeah.
also like, yeah, so invoicing and client profile, which I think is the most key thing on the journey, because umuntu ufuna ukubona progress yakhe. One, umuntu ufuna ukuthola ama updates on their subscriptions, or in your case their invoices that you'll be sending out to them on a monthly basis for the number of training sessions. Also izoveza ne calendar, which okay, now my training slots wami, people can actually look at the training slots and book training slots. And then, young talk, you must explore
Yeah.
that, because I think it will take
I
your game to the next level.
I
It'll
man.
take, yeah, it'll take your game to the next level, Machi. It'll really take your
Yeah,
game to the
man.
next level.
Yeah, these are the things, Valley, that we're giving each other insights on. Yeah, man. That's definitely something to explore, Touch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We've been chatting for an hour now. So I don't want to hold you back for too long. Yeah, but the conversation it was really good, man. I really think whoever's gonna watch this with an interest in the industry, one, and two, those who are watching because bafuni approach yokuselecta i-trainer, bazothola the insight they need, yabo. And also
For
like
sure.
debunking lento leyo ukuthi unga-question why i-trainer ikucharge le mali le akucharge yona, uyangithola? Question.
Sure.
A lot goes into the craft, you know. You think about the
For
hours you put
sure.
in. Yeah, you put in
For
a lot of
sure.
hours to package
For
and put
sure.
together the training program. So people must respect the craft and remember that when they are paying, they're investing in themselves. And it's
For
not
sure.
actually akaluzi, uyawina. Uyangithola umuntu uzositshela ukuthi uyalose awuluzi uyawina because you're investing in yourself. It's either you're going to invest in the trainer who's going to help you lead healthier lifestyle, or you're going to invest in medical fees because mhlambe, you're dealing with
Mm.
issues because of your lifestyle. So one of the two will spend. So you must have
Yeah.
an open mindset. I don't know if you have something to say in closing, Sliceman, to the audience. Yeah, just some positive words around why people should lead healthy lifestyles.
Hey, Joe, you know what? And just in closing, first and foremost, I think this pandemic has shown us leading a healthy lifestyle is something that is of utmost importance because, sonke sithanda impilo, we all want to live, but how you live your life is going to determine, the outcome of everything. And, you don't want to be caught short nje ngento that that you could have, I won't say avoided, but you could have prevented, you know izinto ezifana about high cholesterol, underlying issues that could
Sure.
just make your health deteriorate. Those are things that you can really look at. And in essence, Joe, impilo yinde, Joe. And if you live a life through exercise, I'm not saying that you live long, but you'll be sharp mentally, you'll be sharp physically, you'll be sharp in a lot of things, and that will just help you in all aspects of life. It's a balancing act, yabo. And we are all different. So if you just find a balancing act, then you grand. The most important thing for me is it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. And
Yeah.
it never gets easier; you just get better.
Jealous, man. Yeah, man. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you
man.
for coming through for us to have the conversation. Please stay backstage while we end the live stream now. Then we'll talk a
All
bit.
right, cool.
Yeah, there were a few
All right.
people who are tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see there's some people tuning in on YouTube. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope this was insightful. Hope this was informative just to get a bit of background information on what it's like to be a personal trainer, one, and how you should go about selecting your personal trainer. All right. Peace, guys.